You're listening to Movies, 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 where I give a quick rundown of the movies coming out in movie theaters. And we'll talk about movies coming out in theaters on March the 12th. First one has no tomato meter, no audience score, called Still Life in LODZ. Now, it's an emotionally riveting documentary that journeys to the historically tumultuous city of Lodz, Poland. Now, here, a surprising reunion with a painting that hung in the same apartment for 75 world-altering years becomes a probing investigation into the power of memory, art, time, and resilience. What follows a deeply personal detective story rich with twists and turns, but equally it is an ode to the lost generations of Jewish Lodz and a look at how fragile, but also how incredibly necessary our relationship with the past is for creating the future. Now, like I said, it's a documentary directed by Slawomir Grunberg, produced by Barbara Grunberg, written by Lilka Elbaum and Slawomir Grunberg. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes long. That's it. Okay. Next one, Dark Web, Citadel 3301. No tomato meter, 57% audience score. This intense, high-speed cyber thriller is based on a series of mysterious, unsolved real-life events. It starts as a genius hacker, Connor, discovers Citadel 3301, an online treasure hunt that could be a recruiting tool for a secret society. Soon, Connor, art expert friend Avi, and secretive librarian Gwen are dashing from graffiti sites to ancient libraries to uncover real-world clues. But they must outrun aggressive NSA agents, also hot on the trail of Cicada, who want the glory for themselves. It's a mystery and thriller, comedy, action, directed by Alan Richardson, produced by Mark Bach, Carl Bayer, Alan Richardson, and DJ Viola. Written by Alan Richardson. And it is by Alley Cat Entertainment. Some of the cast and crew: Chris Holden Reed as Philip Dubois, Connor Leslie as Gwen, Ava Blackwell as Greek female hologram, Alan Richardson as Agent Carver, Ron Funch as Avi, and Jack Kesey as Connor Black. Trust. No tomato meter, 67% audience score. In New York City, art gallery owner Brooke and her husband Owen seem to have it all. When Brooke signs a new artist, a devastatingly handsome painter with an affinity for married women, the attraction between them is unmistakable. Left alone at home as Brooke and her artist travel to Paris, Owen finds comfort at a bar with a seductive and beautiful journalist. On once unshakable footing, Brooke and Owen trust begins to dissolve as they unwittingly push the other toward the very thing they fear most. It's a drama, directed by Brian DeCubelis, produced by Stephen Kalinsky, Brian DeCubelis, and Tom Gaida, written by Kristen Lazarian, K.S. Bruce, and Brian DeCubelis. It's 1 hour and 34 minutes long by DeCubelis Films and Untraveled Worlds. Some of the cast and crew: Lindsay Broad, and then Ronnie Ching as Adam, Lucien Leviscout as Edgar, Catherine McNamara as Amy, Matthew Daddario as Owen Shore, Victoria Justice as Brooke Gatwick. Lamb of God, the concert film. No tomato meter, but 100% on the audience score. New soloists and an orchestra perform Rob Gardner's Lamb of God. It's a documentary music, directed by Rob Gardner, produced by Rob Gardner, Rob Moffat, Brandon Purdy, and Arthur Van Wagenen. Written by Rob Gardner. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes long by Sometime Productions. Some of the cast and crew: Suzanne Despart as Mary the Mother, Taylor Morris as John, Casey Elliott as Peter, Emily Moffat as Mary, Tyler Hardwick as Thomas, and Catherine Thomas as Martha. Cosmic Sin. 5% on Tomato Meter, 88% on the audience score. Now, this is a new epic sci-fi adventure set in the year 2524, 400 years after humans started colonizing the outer planets. Retired military General James Ford is called back into service after soldiers on a remote planet are attacked by a hostile alien fleet. The threat against the human race escalates into an inevitable interstellar war. General Ford teams up with General Eron Ryle and a team of elite soldiers in a race to stop the imminent attack before it is too late. It's rated R for language, violence, and some sexual references. It's an action, sci-fi, mystery, and thriller. Directed by Edward Drake. Produced by Corey Large. Written by Edward Drake and Corey Large. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes long by Buffalo 8 Productions, 308 Entertainment, and Bondit Media Capital. Some of the cast and crew: Lachlan Monroe as Alex Locke, C.J. Perry as Saul Cantos, Corey Large as Dash, Brandon Thomas Lee as Braxton Ryle, Frank Grillo as General Eron Ryle, and Bruce Willis as James Ford. Long Weekend. 73% on Tomato Meter, 76% on the audience score. An enchanted weekend courtship leads to the unexpected revelation between a young man and a woman who harbor deep secrets. It's rated R for language throughout. It's a comedy, drama, romance. Directed by Steve Basilone. Produced by Deanna Barilari, Laura Lewis, Theodora Dunlop, Sam Bisbee, Audrey Rosenberg, and Jess Jacobs. It's written by Steve Basilone. It's 1 hour and 31 minutes long by Rebel Media, Park Pictures, 57th Street Productions, and Invisible Pictures. Some of the cast and crew: Wendy McClendon Covey as Patricia, Damon Wayans Jr. as Doug, Jim Rash as Larry, Casey Wilson as Rachel, Zoe Chow as Vienna, and Phil Wittrock as Bart. Honeydew. 83% on the Tomato Meter, no audience score. Now, this tells the story of a young couple who are forced to seek shelter in the home of an aging farmer and her peculiar son when they suddenly begin having strange cravings and hallucinations, taking them down a rabbit hole of the bizarre. It's a mystery and thriller horror. Directed by Deborah Milburn. Produced by Dan Kennedy and Alan Pearson. Written by Deborah Milburn. It's 1 hour and 46 minutes long by Little Sky Film and Rubber Road Productions. This is in theaters and won't be streaming until April 13th. Some of the cast and crew: Joshua Patrick Dudley as Thin Young Man, Jamie Bradley as Gunny, Stephen D'Ambrose as Eolus, Barbara Kingsley as Karen, Malin Barr as Riley, and Sawyer Spielberg as Sam. Alright, and that is it for the movies coming out in theaters the week of the 12th. Have fun watching the movies. This show is brought to you by Heartland Entertainment. If you'd like to help to make the show better, go to patreon.com/heartlandpae.